Grapevine Clonal ID technology is a genetic test to be able to tell grapevine clones apart. In the past, we've had grapevine varietal testing. That's relatively easy because grapevine varieties are quite different from each other, sort of like any two people are. But grapevine clones are more like twins. And it's very hard to genetically test twins. Being able to tell grapevine clones apart for winemakers is getting more and more important. Yeah, they go out of their way to buy specific clones, so they want to make sure that they can get what they're buying, essentially.
Yeah, it gives us a bit of diversity in the vineyard. Bunch size is one big selection parameter, perhaps a different ripening time.
Often subtle characteristics, but very important characteristics from a grape growing and winemaker standpoint. So I guess our work with Peru dates back 2019, just after the Cuddly Creek fires that wiped out a lot of vineyards and unfortunately also a lot of germplasm blocks, so source blocks for grapevine material, specifically a lot of Pinot. People needed to replant these source blocks because they're pretty important sources of grapevine material for all the winemakers and viticulturalists in the...
And the expanding regions, the cool climate regions that are expanding, have a great demand for those Chardonnay, in particular Pinot Noir. We lost those source blocks and it was coming up to the cutting season. We were trying to find new sources to help us, and rather than replant and wait 3 years, we needed to get some source blocks up immediately. And the only way to really check them was to have a clonal ID done so we knew that they were the same clone.
We had the technology just sort of emerging at the right time. There was some funding from the South Australian state government help bushfire recovery, and then so it's probably good timing for being able to apply some sort of fundamental research that we were doing. And then that gave us the confidence to now go out and do the more research and be able to develop the testing more widely. Yeah, so we're actively working in a number of spaces in using genetics for the wine industry around not just clonal ID, but agrochemical resistance for grapevine pests, looking at yeasts and bacteria in ferments, all sorts of things.
And so the whole germplasm now in Australia has been plentifully identified. So.
And in that respect, we're leading the world. We're the only industry that can say that we've genetically tested all of our germplasm, given that we're the only ones that can currently do the protocol.
I guess the ultimate goal would be to really have knowledge of how those clones perform, right down from phenological aspects to flavour profiles as well.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I'd just like to see a situation where anyone that needs grapevine clones identified for whatever reason has the ability to get that done cheaply and efficiently, and that our nursery suppliers and stuff can keep a really good eye on their germplasm material that gets handed out. So, there's assurance across the entire value chain of what's there, what people are buying, and so they've got the greatest success of being able to make the wine they want to make.
Yep.